I missed you too, Connor. So, I went to a job tonight. Oh, I'll turn this thing around. The rear axle in the service truck is making all kinds of noise. And I'm about 38 miles from home. Yes, my check engine light's on. It needs an O2 sensor. I just thought maybe you guys might want to see if this truck makes it home. I don't know if it will or not. It is clacking like hell. Like majorly clacking. Oh, my hair's all messed up. Let me fix it. There we go. So, well, Betty, we might not know if I'll make it home or not. Cause not quite sure if you guys can hear that or not. But that loud clacking sound is the service truck. So because I can't do two things at once, I have to set up my camera and the phone holder, but once I start going, you guys will hear what I'm talking about. You guys hear that? The fortunate thing is that if my rear axle, the pinion actually snaps or does something crazy, I got four-wheel drive. We'll just shift it in four-wheel drive and see if we make it home. But at least I got French fries. I definitely can't make this turn. It's one thing about this service truck. I love this service truck, but it does not turn on a dime. I have to pull. I can't make it from. If there's a 3-lane road or a 6-lane road and 3 lanes on one side, 3 lanes on the other, I can't make a U-turn. I have to pull in somewhere and drive around. The Ford V10 is bulletproof. It's the axle that's the problem. Look, Granberry. The pirates. Arrgh. Yeah, the V10's fine. Motor doesn't make any problem at all. It's just the freaking axle that's the problem. And it's probably self-induced. I've had a wheel seal issue on this truck for a couple of years now. If you guys remember when I went down and bought the black Dodge from the Granberry Pirates, Mark Carriger, wheel seal started leaking, and that started my problems. I don't even know if this live stream is worth doing because I don't know if you guys can hear me or not. That loud sewing machine sound is the rear axle. Engine's fine, transmission's fine, truck's running great. $388,000 miles on it. Well, I'm glad y'all can hear me fine. Like I said, I got about 38 miles to go. Today I did finish the other axle. It's ready to go in my shop. I rebuilt the limited slip in it, the Ford track lock. Everything else is good to go. I put a Yukon kit with carbon fiber clutches in the track lock setup, got it set, installed it, went to go put new wheel seals in the hubs, and the Timken wheel seals that I didn't like. So I went to the Ford dealer in Granbury to go buy 2 new seals because they told me that they had 2 new seals, and lo and behold, when I got there, they didn't have 2 new seals. So I had to ride to Weatherford on my motorcycle to go get 2 seals from the Weatherford Ford dealer, and they had them. But at least those guys actually gave them to me wholesale price. I have wholesale pricing at one dealer in Fort Worth at AutoNation. I don't have wholesale anywhere else. But I told the guy on the phone that he hooked me up with a discount, so that's pretty good. And it's actually cheaper to go to the Ford dealer than it is AutoZone Napa or anything. I was surprised. Mike Smith, you're a mechanic, so fix it. Well, I'm in the process of it, but when 100% of your work is in the field, you rely on your service truck. And tonight I had a customer that absolutely had to have one of their machines running by tomorrow. And they were very nice about it, asked me if I could actually make it work, and I told them, you know what? I will be there hell or high water. And I decided to load all the tools back in my service truck and drive to Fort Worth, knowing that that axle's probably gonna not like it. It's gonna make a whole lot of noise there, but it's a Ford. It's Ford tough. Maybe it'll make it, maybe it won't. What's up, Brandon? For those of you that haven't been tuned in for a little while, I'm driving my service truck back home. That loud clacking sound you're hearing is the rear axle. The front pinion seal on the axle started leaking. Probably because that front bearing got started for oil. Because the 2 wheel seals, both wheel seals on both sides kept leaking. And it's been a problem for the last couple of years. I've replaced wheel seals, I've cleaned the vents out, I've done other stuff. And it just, whatever reason, the wheel seals keep leaking. On one side, on the driver's side, you guys that have been following me for a while remember that I had a problem with that thread, that nut. The wheel seal ended up going in completely bad, galled the axle shaft, and I kind of repaired the threads a little bit, and then welded the actual the area that the seal rides. Wasn't the greatest of ideas, and I just thought maybe this will get me by, and it got me by for a couple of years. So this last couple of weeks, I started developing this kind of like clacking sound. And if you guys watched the short video that I put, know that put it on jack stands, put it in drive, and it sounds like it's coming from the front of the axle, the front bearing or the outer bearing on the pinion on the rear axle. So I bought a complete other axle out of an 06 F350 with limited slip last week. Thought it would be good, but the pinion seal on it was leaking. So I pulled the pinion seal out, pulled the bearing out just to inspect it, and the bearing was completely shot. It was pitted real bad, had a lot of slop in it, and that didn't give me any confidence in the axle. So I pulled the pinion out, pulled the ring, the carrier out, pulled the axles out, pulled the hubs apart, inspected the rest of the bearings. The rest of the axle was completely fine. But while I had it apart, I wanted to rebuild the track lock setup or the limited slip clutch setup. Couldn't get any of the parts until yesterday. Got the parts yesterday. Then installed them all, rebuilt the differential last night and today. Got it put in the axle and didn't have time to install the axle today. Had a customer that called me and they like really had one of their pieces of equipment that needed to be up by tomorrow. Asked me if there's any way I could get it tomorrow, and I said, you know what, sure. So it's about 10 o'clock at night. I told them I'd be there. I started heading that way at 6 o'clock, and now hopefully I'll get there. If you guys can tell, it shows that I'm doing 45 miles an hour. I'm doing way faster than 45 miles an hour, but these older Fords, there's a speed sensor that goes in the top of the axle. It's just a little magnetic pickup, and then on your carrier assembly it has a tone wheel. That tone wheel passes that mag sensor, that little magnetic pickup, and that's what actually tells your speedometer how fast you're going. It's bumping around right now because it's getting a lot of metal shavings on it from that clacking noise that you hear in the axle. I've had an issue with it before, and I'm actually pretty shocked right now that the ABS light over here hasn't come on, because ever since I've had this truck, that magnetic pickup, that speed sensor, has gotten metal on it. When I first got this truck and drove it, that ABS light came on. I took the sensor out, cleaned it, put the sensor back on. It worked fine for a little while, then it came back on. But from day one of this truck, I've had a problem with it howling. And I thought it was coming from the transfer case. I actually put the rear axle up on jack stands, put it in drive, listened to it, and I heard a clacking noise coming from the transfer case. And I might still have a clacking noise coming from the transfer case, but it could be coming just from the pinion and transferring all that vibration to the transfer case. I hope that's what was going on. But I think that howling noise, ever since I had the truck, is coming from the pinion. Of course, I just ignored it. And, you know, as a true mechanic, just decided, you know what, I'll wait. And as soon as it becomes a huge problem, then I'll fix it, which is what I did. Do it all garage? Yes, I am eating French fries. Got a bag of Wendy's. So normally every night I have an awesome home cooked meal from soon-to-be wife, my fiance, Betty. That woman takes a lot of pride in making sure that I am well taken care of. I have the gut to prove it. Uh-oh. There goes the axle. That's all she wrote, fellas. I have no more forward. If this fucking idiot behind me would actually go. Yeah, I didn't think I was going to make it back to Granbury. So now, I'm on the side of the road, but I got French fries, so that's pretty good. What I'm probably going to do is I'm going to pull up here. I'm probably going to take my drive shaft loose. Not the back of the truck, not the back of the transmission, and just limp home in four-wheel drive. Because it definitely didn't make it. Put the hazards on. There you go. I'm really glad I got French fries, though, and a sandwich. I'm going to go down here in a second. I think this is Pate Road. Yeah, you're right, Brandon. Got French fries, so I'm good. This is exactly what I figured was going to happen. This is why I did the live stream, because I didn't think this axle was going to last. Luckily, on a Ford, on the back of the transfer case, it's just a flange that's bolted to the drive shaft's bolted to. So what I can do is I can get out, I can remove my drive shaft from the transfer case to the axle, lock my hubs in the front, and take off on four-wheel drive and get me the rest of the way home. Now, it's kind of a redneck repair. I do have AAA. I could just call AAA, have them tow it to the house, and be fine, but, you know, my redneck side prevails, and why call a tow truck when I can try to screw it up myself? Oddly enough, I actually used to service when I worked in the oil field as a natural gas compressor mechanic. I used to go down this road and to the right and call the Pate Ranch, Smith Ranch, I can't remember. I used to do work all the time out here. Pretty familiar with this area. If you guys don't know where this area is, I just came off of Whiskey Flats. That's Borland Airfield over there. Man, that sounds awesome. All right, let's turn that off. I'm gonna finish my French fries real quick. Actually, I'm gonna eat my sandwich. I'm hungry, and it's more important for me to eat. I can't tell. Did you guys hear all of that clacking got tremendously worse? I'll take a couple of bites of my sandwich. I'm gonna go out there and pull that drop ship. You guys get to watch me eat a Wendy's sandwich. Really, it's pretty awesome. I got my job done. My customer's satisfied. I got some French fries. I got a hamburger. I got a badass hot little woman waiting for me at home. I have a complete, ready-to-go axle when I get home. So, got nothing really to worry about. Yeah, Tim, I got a, good to see you, buddy. Yeah, I got a flat, not really a flat. I got a bad ring and pinion in my service truck, Whiskey Flats. Well, let's spin this guy around so you guys can see what I'm doing. I'm gonna put my jacket on real quick. Sorry, guys. Let's see. Alright, guys, you didn't have to hold on. I gotta put my jacket on. So, caught my beard in that one. Give me another bite of my sandwich. Oh, come on. Bum wants to stick on it. Why is this isn't very bright? What the hell I do with my flashlight? I just had the damn thing. Oh. There it is. Okay. I'm gonna grab my other light real quick. Check out this Milwaukee light. This dude has been amazing. So I actually got this light. If you buy, I think it's two batteries, two of their big batteries, you get this light for free. It's like a $140 light. I need to do batteries anyway. And you turn it on like that. Check that out. Now, put this part brake on. I'm gonna shift it into neutral. Actually, I'm gonna clean my lens real quick. Tell that it's, I put my thumb on it. There you go. So there's a bushing down here in the steering column. There's a couple of problems with these old Ford Super Duties. There's a bolt that goes loose in the back. I've had that happen before. That I've taken that bolt out, put Loctite on it, put it back in. Sorry, that sandwich gave me the hiccups. And that fixed that problem. And now there's a bushing in there, and if you can tell, it's showing that's in reverse right now. But as I move that up, then it shows it's in park. So it's just a bushing in here, but we'll push it in reverse, then neutral. Make sure we're not moving anywhere. And now we'll crawl under here. See what we got. So that's a 12 point, probably 12 millimeter. I have to take, looks like a 13 millimeter there off. Oh, and then we come up here. And some more 12 point there. Let's go see if I got a wrench that size, 12 or 13. Oh man. Nope, I got the back of it. Not locked, but I got it latched. There we go. Take that out. You guys are gonna love how organized my wrenches are. Now, the reason all my my tools look like crap, or they're not organized, is because I had another service truck and I put all my tools in this one. Every single time I go through and I organize everything in my service trucks, it's like they break. I don't know what it is, but if I leave it all like this, it really doesn't break that much. Like, yeah, the rear axle, but I haven't had a problem with this truck in like 30,000 miles. So we're gonna get a 1/2 inch, or excuse me, 100,000 miles. But I guarantee you, if I organize all this stuff, it will immediately, like the engine or transmission will go out. I do have magnets on here, that's what that stuff is. But magnets just don't work very well on these trucks. Not on a service truck. Actually, I'll grab that 1/2 inch. I need a 12 and I need a 13. There's a 12. Where the hell's my 13 at? I'm actually planning on getting another service truck, but that hasn't come to fruition yet. I've got some other things looming that's got to be taken care of first. Fuck is my 13 millimeter at? There's a 14. There's a 9. There's a 12. I got a 1/2. Go ahead and take that 7/16 just in case that's it. Is that it? Nope. It's really pissing me off. Of course, because I have the phone running. Can't find my 13. There it is. Ha-ha! Found it. Actually waiting for a cop to pull up. State troopers in this area are actually pretty on point, man. They'll show up pretty quick. Make sure everything's going okay. And most of them are pretty nice. When they pull over, they're actually generally making sure that you're okay and you don't need assistance or anything. So it's probably not that one. You can tell my sockets are a lot more organized than my wrenches. For some reason, when I go through and I organize all my wrenches, everything goes to shit. Alright, get that down. Get me a 6-inch extension for the gates. Grease gun out. Get that, set that there. I got a question for you guys. Maybe some of you guys know. My dead blow hammer is an Estwing. Okay. It's supposedly a pretty good brand, but it's cracked. Every single dead blow hammer, including Snap-on, they all end up cracking after a while. Is that just a normal thing that happens with dead blow hammers? They all crack? And does Estwing have a lifetime warranty? I mean, it's made in America, so hopefully it does. All right, let's take the rear pinion off first. Because why not? It's not a half. It's a 12. Glad we brought all these other wrenches. Shit, that scared me. Alright, I'm gonna have to flip the phone around, put it underneath the axle, and break all these loose real quick. Luckily, I've got plenty of room in here. There it goes. Woo! Quit telling me I need to. Freaking YouTube is telling me I need to change the phone orientation. And it's beeping at me, giving me warnings. I don't have my little tripod with me, or I'd set it up and show you, you know, have a better camera angle. Once I get these 4 bolts off, I'll get up and I'll turn the truck off. Maybe you guys can hear me better. So there's just 4, and I'm not sure why driveline bolts tend to be 12 points, but on 18-wheelers they tend to be the same size. They're like 12 millimeter 12 point or 13 millimeter 12 point or ½ inch. You would think on an 18-wheeler they'd be bigger, but they're not. And hell, I had to take this drive shaft loose tomorrow anyway, so might as well do it now. 10:30 at night. So those of you guys that don't know what Whiskey Flats is in Fort Worth, there's an area in southwest Fort Worth called Whiskey Flats. They call it that. It's in between Benbrook, which is southwest Fort Worth, and Crescent. And they call it Whiskey Flats because Benbrook is actually a dry city. You used to not be able to buy any alcohol. And then a couple of years ago, they legalized it, and you could buy like up to a certain percentage of alcohol, but you couldn't buy liquor. So if you drive south on 377 from Benbrook, there's one area that's just flat. They call that Whiskey Flats because you could buy whiskey. Alright, I'll put those bolts in my pocket. Make sure that I put it to wash tomorrow so Betty can find it. Ah. All right, one down, one to go. Oh, you cheater. Damn wrench wants to give up. There it goes. So those of you that are curious why I'm pulling the entire drive shaft off, it's because to limp my truck home in four-wheel drive, this flange is going to spin. If I leave the rear drive shaft on it, the drive shaft is going to flop around and I have to figure out what to do with it. It's a lot easier to do it this way. I don't know why I got these in my pocket. What I do? So, the best way I've ever seen you break these, put a wrench on it, grab you a dead blow, and just smack the holy shit out of it. Now, if you have a Dodge, you actually have to put a torch on these because they have Loctite, the equivalent of Loctite red on them. Alright, one more. I don't know if I'll be able to get this one without turning the drive shaft. But we're going to try it anyway. Nope. Now if I put it like that, it's going to end up stripping it. All right. Now, hey, that's not what I wanted. There it goes. This is a slip joint here, so all I have to do is break that loose down there to the axle. If I break that loose, then I can actually spin the drive shaft because the transmission's in neutral. Be easier said than done. Yeah, I guess we're gonna have to get a pry bar. Which is fine. Let's just get out from underneath the truck. Perfect time for another bite of my sandwich. All right. Said they were out of spicy chicken sandwiches. Only reason I stop at Wendy's to get spicy chicken. Bill, hey Bill. Actually, my truck's broke. I have to pull the rear drive shaft, limp home, and front wheel drive. But Bill, it's okay. I've got my favorite pry bar right here. If you guys want your favorite pry bar, it's Snap-on something. All right. Let's see. Come on. There it goes. Get back my damn pry bar. Mine. Son of a. Alright, put the phone down. Mine! Oh, you sack of shit. It's spinning. I'm about to turn the truck off. Careful, it's like a machine or something. You know all those warnings on serpentine belts? They tell you, hey, you're gonna have to turn that thing off. It's like a machine or something. Yeah. Same thing. So, it's on the bottom right there. Let's put it dark. Ow, shit, there's stickers here. Park it is. Whew. Hey, look, a sandwich. You never break down and have a meal. That never happens. So we're almost done. So I'm completely not really reading the comments. If somebody asks the questions, and one of you guys that follow me for a while can answer, please do so. All right. Now this is a two-piece drive shaft, meaning it's got a center joint to it, or carrier bearing. And I figured out that it's actually easier to pull all the bolts out first and then pull your carrier bearing loose. And when you install it, put this flange on first, put your bolts in, install your carrier bearing, and then your rear drive shaft, because your rear is always the one that's got the slip joint. But for whatever reason, pulling them apart is much easier to do it this way. So that's done. Now I gotta replace this gear, or pull out these two bolts here. Oh, that's the wrong way. I got a close up on my face. There you go. I gotta pull those two out. What size do you guys think that is? Do we think it's 14? Probably a 9/16, but that'll fit. So let's do that outside one first. Oh, come on. Crawl all the way underneath there to look at it. Down, where to go? Sticking all these bolts in my pockets, so hopefully I don't lose any of them. Alright. Now, make sure your head's out of the way. And we'll just pull the trigger, see what happens. Whee! It comes out. Now, let's see how much slop we have. Not as much slop as I thought. It's still pretty tight. Interesting. Oh, come on. That's how the communists win. There. Put you on top. Our inches up. Oh, you fellas there. Put you there. And put you there. There. Looks like a good place for my pry bar. Shove that in there. Luckily the wind doesn't shut it for me. Oh, where's my flashlight? Come here. Can't leave you. My phone's about to die, so just when unexpectedly ends, you guys have to figure out if I made it home or not. Luckily, it's super windy. heaven forbid it actually be warm. My son's calling me. Doesn't realize I'm on a laptop. Put my extension up. My rack. Impactinator back. Shove all that crap back in there. Come here, drive shaft. You got a new home. All right. Now you're a truck man. Drive shaft. We'll call it an auxiliary drive shaft. And we'll close this guy.